Welcome to Work This Way, a labor and employment podcast. I'm Tina Emerson, Chief Marketing Officer at Maynard Nexen. I'm joined here today by labor and employment attorney Keely Fresh from our Greenville office. And we are here today at the SHRM Conference, the Greenville Society of Human Resources Management. Do I have that right?
You do.
All
Good
right,
job.
Great. So we are here live today. There's a lot of activity. We have local HR and employment professionals gathered here today for insightful sessions and expert speakers. And joining us today is Silvia King. She is the Chief Human Resources Officer at Southern First Bank. It's a relationship-first bank for individuals and businesses based in the Southeast. Silvia, thanks for being here today.
Oh, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
I'm great to have you. Please start us off by telling us about Southern First and what your position and role is with the company.
Yeah, I'd love to tell you a little bit about Southern First. So we started here locally in Greenville, South Carolina 25 years ago. We actually just had a huge celebration for our 25th anniversary. It was lovely. It was everything you could imagine, incorporating all of the culture that we hold so dear. But we started with Art Seaver is our founder and current CEO, and he just really wanted to keep relationships alive in banking. So in an era where everything is moving towards more and more digital, large footprints, would be a lot of M&A activity. Art really believes in maintaining the culture and hiring the right people to have relationships with every single client that we do work with. And so that's how we started, and we're an organic growth model bank, which is very unique in today's banking world, and we're just really proud of it. It's what makes us special and allows us to maintain the culture that we have.
So it's obvious that Southern First does promote this culture of family, community, and teamwork. And you mentioned this organic growth. What are some of these other strategies that you use to promote this environment?
Yeah, I thought about that. I had a feeling you were going to ask me this question. I've been thinking about it, and I really think that what it is that we do not change regardless of macroeconomics, regardless of different life cycles that we go through. We do not change the heartbeat of cherishing our family culture, competing with a passion to win, and celebrating our victories. And so I think most people know banking's had a really unique couple of years. And if you asked most employees who are not necessarily looking at the stock price or looking at our day-to-day financials, they would say nothing has changed over the last 2 years at Southern First. We still have parties to celebrate weddings. We still lift people up when they're going through really tough times in life. We still just hug and love when babies are born. And so we maintain the pulse of the people side of the business regardless of what's going on externally. And I think that's what makes us maintain the culture that we think is our special sauce.
Right.
Yeah.
And just to expand on that, you've got 13 locations in the Southeast. You have 300 employees. The culture has changed, like you said, in banking. It ebbs and flows. But how have you managed to do this over the course of 25 years of the bank being in business?
Yeah, so we like to say one client at a time and one banker at a time. That's our motto. So that sounds kind of corny and easy, but it's not. So when you think about growth for a bank, we need to move into new markets and expand our client base in the locations we're in. And so we spend a lot of time. It could take years to find the right banker that we feel has the heart, who cares, who loves and serves the way we want to do so at Southern First. And once we find that banker, we allow them the autonomy and freedom to hire a team and build the location from the heart that we know that they have. So that's how we maintain the culture in all of the 13 locations in any state that we enter. It's that we're not doing this through an acquisition. We're doing this by waiting patiently, which is not my strong suit, but waiting patiently until we find the right banker who can do that for us.
And finding that community of like-minded individuals seems very important to have to kind of grow from the top down.
Yeah, it really is. And by like-minded, it's really more like-hearted. So it's the heart that makes the difference. Banking's it's not a little bit, it's a commodity. There's a bank on every single corner of every street. but it's the heart of the people we hire that makes the difference. And we love that.
I definitely love that like-hearted quip that you had. So since opening in 2000, you've said you've moved, you expanded, but many employees have been with you since you first opened in 2000. What about this culture that you keep mentioning makes these people want to stay where they are?
Yeah, I would say simply we do life together. So it's once you've engaged in going through a really tough time in life together or celebrating something huge in your life, I've personally gone through kind of a tough year, and you really sense and feel what love feels like at work. And I'm using that term, love at work. That's how you have a place where you want to stay for 20 years, right. Is you're doing life together.
That's really special and rare.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree that it's very rare, and I don't take it for granted. Yeah.
And you hear a lot about that from a lot of companies when they say, we're a family, we love each other, we care for each other. How do you communicate to your employees that this isn't just lip service?
Yeah. I'll share a funny story. So when I first started, I assumed it was lip service. I mean, in my role I don't think I mentioned my role. I'm the Chief Human Resources Officer for Southern First Bank, and proud to play a role in making sure that our associate experience is everything we say it is. So when I started, I remember telling my new HR team that I was going to find the skeletons. Like, this was too good to be true, and my job was going to be in the next 6 months to figure out what was really going on. And so through that process, I learned that this is real. This is authentic. We're not perfect. We don't have perfect communication at all times. We don't do things, we're human. Basically, we're human. But what I learned through that experience is there aren't any skeletons. We say what we mean. We're transparent. We work through our problems together. And so when it comes to new hires, I share my experience and say, keep looking. And I encourage you sooner rather than later to let go of that armor and just enjoy the journey. And once you do that, it's a lot more fun. It's a lot more fun.
And that lesson starts early too, even with interns. When you have interns coming into your program, How does Southern First feel about the importance of investing in the next generation and hopefully having interns that latch on to your culture and your ideology and want to be part of your business?
Yes. So I think the right HR answer would be that we're trying to find interns that latch on forever, but honestly, I don't care. And what I mean by that is we see our internship program, I personally see it as an act of service to this generation because I care so deeply that they have a first job experience where they are highly respected, they are treated with kindness, compassion, they see what it's like to care, serve, and love at work. And if that's where their hearts are, my only ask of them is to never accept less than that in any other role that they take on. I would love it if they fell in love with banking and wanted to work with us. But I care more about the fact that they have standards set at a young age that they'll never waver from. That's my goal in the internship program. And since I've started, it was 7 years ago that I started with Southern First. We've gone from 3 interns to about 13 for this summer. And so we keep expanding that program. And again, I do feel like it's an act of just making sure we set a baseline for the next generation of what's acceptable and not acceptable in a workplace.
That's great.
Yeah. Those are all great lessons, and thanks for sharing that with us. And while we wrap up, is there anything that you'd like to brag on for Southern First? It seems like you're proud of a lot.
Oh, man.
Again, I'd love to hear you talk about a couple of things that you feel like the bank is working on that you're really proud to share with the world.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So always proud to share with the world that in this digital age, we have the best-in-class digital options for all clients, but we will never let go of the fact that you can call on your cell phone, you can call your banker. So we've hired folks from Silicon Valley so that we can ensure we have the best in class in digital, but at the same time, you can just pick up that phone and call us. And I think that's what makes us special. Yeah, I mean, that's all I would say is heart, and best in class banking, and those two things combined make it a place you want to be forever. Yeah.
Well, you're in the business of people, so that's nice to hear.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us today, Sylvia,
Absolutely.
and thanks for being the wonderful co-host, Keely. Thank you very much, and we will see you next time on Work This Way.